My name's Simon, and this is my 1991 Subaru MV284, as it was known in the UK market, or Brumby, if it's Australia, Shifter, which I think was a European area, I can't remember now, or Brat in the US. And Brat stood for Bi-Drive Recreational All-Terrain Transport. I always get that wrong, but I'm sure that's what it was. I've owned this coming up to 13 years. Bought it in 2013 off a friend of mine. A friend of mine was a courier and he used to drive around everywhere, and he saw this parked up in a barn. He inquired with the owner, and the owner said, "Yep, I'll sell it. I think it had a couple of months left of MOT left on it." And he says, "Yep, I'll sell it." He says, "I want £500 for it." So my mate Joe bought it. He tried to persuade me to buy it originally, but I said, "No," I said, "I've got too many vehicles, don't want one, but thank you." Anyway, Joe went out, picked it up, took it back to his house, and he sent pictures across to me and went, "Oh my God, that's mint." So I said, "I've got to come over and have a look at this." So I went over and had a look at it, and I said to Joe, "I've got to buy it off you." So we agreed a deal, which I give him £600 for it, which to give him for his trouble of going out and picking it up and sorting it all out. And I think I got him 2 crates of beer as well, and he delivered it back to my house. So I thought it wasn't a bad deal, really. But that was 13 years ago when they were still reasonably common back then, and they were starting to get quite rusty. Not many people were restoring them back then. The story behind it is it was sold by Chandler's in Lincoln in 1991. It was sold to, I believe, a motorsport company in Lincoln. They owned it for about a year or two. Now, this truck's absolutely covered in underseal underneath. Really, really thick underseal. And I'm convinced it's that motorsport company that did it. It's not factory. And I'm convinced it's that motorsport company that did it, and that's why it's lasted so long. But that's not to say it didn't have its issues. It did. There's still little bits here and there that wanted doing. So that company owned it for a couple of years. And then it was sold to a guy in Derby, and I believe he was a gamekeeper, and he had it right the way up till when my mate Joe bought it in, well, it was December 2012 he bought it. I bought it off Joe in January 2013. And the guy basically just used it to just go around his holdings. On the front of the pickup bed where they'd caught the game, they threw them over the side of the panel, and there were loads of little tiny dents in both sides of the quarter panels. Probably caused by when they were throwing the birds over the side of the panel. At that time when I bought it, it had done 36,000 miles. I've got MOTs going back quite a way, so I believe that's genuine. And in the time that I've owned it, embarrassingly, it's still only got 38,000 miles on the clock, so I've done 2,000 in it. I did have quite a few issues with it when I first got it. It just would not run right. And what it was the fuel tank was rotten and water was getting in, and it basically wrecked the fuel system. I managed to source a really, really good, it was absolutely mint fuel tank from Australia, and a fuel filler neck, again from Australia. I put a complete new fuel line in it, new fuel pump. I got a Weber conversion kit from America, put a brand new Weber carb on it, had it rolling roaded, and it just transformed it. It's just, yeah, it's like chalk and cheese to what it used to drive like. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare, I'll be honest. Mechanically, suspension's all been overhauled, brakes have been overhauled. Body-wise, these wings, brand new, genuine Subaru, steel ones, not fiberglass. The front valance was replaced, again, brand new, genuine Subaru. I did a little bit of welding at the back, not much. A little bit of welding at the back of the sills. Stripped it all down. 2015 or 2016 I had it painted. It's about 10 years ago now. All repainted, and then in between all this, I was trying to get all the correct parts, because the link to this is obviously the Tamiya side of it. So that's the Subaru bit, but the Tamiya bit goes back to 1983, when for Christmas my mum and dad bought me a Tamiya Subaru Brat for Christmas. And I absolutely love that car. I absolutely wrecked it, like we all did with the Tamiyas back in the day. I thought, wouldn't it be fun to try and see if I can recreate it and build another? So I went scouring for parts. And from the day that I got it to even now, I've been trying to find parts for it, because everything is really, really hard to find. But I've purchased brand new old stock headlamp bezels, which are chrome. UK ones are black. I purchased a straight slat front grille. The UK ones are honeycomb. Not strictly correct. The very first ones that came into the country did have straight slat. On some of the very early models, they had a Cyclops grille. So where the badge used to rotate round and bring a fog light out. I'd love to get hold of one of them, but I never managed it. So yeah, so I managed to source a straight slat grille. The chrome bumpers were the interesting bit. The chrome bumpers were only ever fitted to the Brat in America, I think. I'm not sure if they were put on the Brumby. I'm not sure. I think they had a black bumper on the Brumby. They were really, really hard to find. I did manage to get some really good second-hand ones right a while ago. And then just by chance, this guy put a post up saying, I've got 2 brand new old stock chrome bumpers. And I thought, I've got to have them. So I just bought them. The front one did have the headlamp washing, which this didn't have. So I ended up being sad that I am. I got a brand new headlamp wash kit for it and put it, so they're not just for show, they do work. It's all wired in, plumbed in as it should. The end caps, they're from America, correct to the Tamiya model. The UK ones have a repeater here. I got these from America, they do work. I custom made the front air bar to match the model, and I custom made the roll bar to match the model. Side mouldings, correct to the model. And then obviously the decals. I contacted a company in America who was doing a very, very basic kit for these, but it didn't do the Tamiya version. And I messaged him and said, if I send you across the Tamiya decal sheet, can you replicate it? And he said, yep, no problem. I scanned the document, sent it across to him, took various measurements. He upscaled it and did the kit. Annoyingly, he stopped doing them now. So he did sell a few kits, but I don't believe you can get them anymore now. Really, really sound guy that helped me out on that. Other than that, it's pretty much stock. How does it drive? Okay, it's an 80s truck. It rattles, it squeaks, it bangs. But it goes really, really well. And since I did all the fuel system on it, just jump in it, drive it anywhere. The heater on it is amazing. They must have really looked after the Welsh farmers back in the day, because you put the heater on and it's absolutely toasted warm in there. I had the wheels banded. They've been banded 1 inch. A lot of people go 7J on it, but I just think it makes them look too wide and too silly. I went 6J, and in fairness, it was done a little bit for looks, but it were also done for tyres. The original tyres they're not particularly great that you get on the original sizes for this truck. And I thought, can't go wrong with a little bit more rubber on the road, so I had them banded by a guy who took them to 6 for me, and I'm really, really pleased with the look. Since I've done it, a few people have copied that, so I must have got it right somehow. The other thing that I did on it was I put a disc brake conversion on the back, and I can't remember where it came from. I think it came from a Subaru Leone estate from America, and it came from a dry state, so when I got it, it was just absolutely, it was mint, it was lovely, and it just bolts straight on. Another boring fact is that there's no handbrake to mess about with, because the handbrake's on the front wheels, not on the back wheels. So it's just a case of just unbolting the drums, putting the disc brakes on, and the brakes are really, really nice. Parts are really, really hard to get for this. There is a company in America called Rock Auto that stock parts for them, and in fairness, most of the bits is where I've got them is from Rock Auto, especially all the mechanical stuff, body parts and things like that. It's dried up in the UK now. There is still stuff hovering around. There's a few people hoarding quite a few bits and bobs, but it is quite hard to get stuff for it. Like I said, the wings came from America, and the Valence was a rare find in the UK. Keeping them on the road, luckily they are very, very reliable. Like I said, I've had it, this has been parked up for a good couple of months, and I just jumped in it this morning. I forgot to disconnect the battery, and I thought, oh, left it connected, and it just fired up straight away, no problem. It drives lovely. Only a 4-speed gearbox, and it's got a lever in the dash for putting into 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low, and I've never used it. In the entire time I've had it, I've never taken this off-road. I think the nearest I got to put it into 4-wheel drive was we had a really snowy Christmas once, and I thought it'd be fun to take it out. And it were good, it were really good, but the snow stopped once I got to the main road, so about half a mile of driving it on the snow, and that were it. Back into 2-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. So this is my Subaru MV284. Thank you.